Hey everyone, we are here with no expectations. We are just going to see what the cards say. I'm going to just keep shuffling, and then whatever pops out, we're going to expand on that. Okay, this card came out and it turned over. We have the Seven of Wands in reverse. Okay, immediately off the bat, this to me feels like someone who is struggling to have their voice heard. I'm also getting something tied to someone being on a power trip. A lot of you guys right now, it may simply just feel that no matter what you say, it is just completely falling on deaf ears. Now, some of you may not necessarily know how to deal with a situation where it seems that communication has now fallen to a bare minimum when it comes to someone. I kinda do get that vibe that even though the Seven of Wands is a fighter, whenever he is in reverse now, this to me screams very Mars and Leo. I need to show my strength, I need to show my power, I need to show all of this stuff. But now this feels like someone where they are realizing that it's just not even worth the energy anymore. And if this is you and someone has stopped responding to you, you may not necessarily know how to take their quietness. It is coming through that someone at this particular point is just on mute. Now, why they're on mute, it could be that they're just retreating, or it could go back to what I was just saying before. You're just tired of going through the same old song and dance. I don't want to argue every day. Now I'm just shutting down. I do get this energy here where someone is possibly being insulted, or you just feel that your intelligence is being questioned. So this can go into that shutting down energy again. Why would I talk if you think less of me? Why would I talk when everything that I say you're going to question it? Now, some of you may be dealing with this when it comes to a boss or a work situation. I'm also getting something tied to could be a pet. Okay, but with this Seven of Wands here, I also do feel that there's something coming through about Mars being on an angle. So, Mars in someone's first, fourth, seventh, or 10th house, or if you are into astrology like that and you know about synastry charts, then your Mars may fall into this person's house in an angle. Now, we know the angular houses are public houses. So some of you, speaking of public houses, maybe you're feeling a little, or somebody could be feeling a little bit embarrassed at this particular point because you've showed your ass and now you've been put on pause, you've been put on mute, you've been put in the cold, whatever the situation is. Now you've been told to shut up because you just showed your ass and embarrassed yourself, and that means you embarrassed us. So this can go a bunch of different ways when it comes to the Seven of Wands. And once the Seven of Wands decides to shut down, that's pretty much it. So this is kind of like the overall energy where a lot of people could be at this point. How do I, well, it could be, again, taking some time off, having to go blow off some steam elsewhere because this situation is just not going to work itself out right now, no matter how many ultimatums, no matter how many conversations you try to have, you are kind of wasting your time. Now, some of you, you may be feeling that you've been put on mute or you're being ignored because this person just has something going on. But it could simply just be that this person has their own things going on. So they don't have time to worry about you amongst the other things that they have to worry about in their own personal life. So I'm going to shuffle the cards and we're just going to expand on this Seven of Wands and kind of see what we're getting. Okay, so let's see. We have the Fool, we have the Two of Swords. We have the Four of Swords. Some of you are fearful that somebody's not going to come back. Somebody has walked away, somebody has closed the door, but they didn't say anything. And this may be the first time that they haven't said anything. Times before they've kind of given you a hint, or you've kind of just been able to piece together the situation to figure out what's going on, and that has held you over until this person is finished doing what they're doing. But now again, since there is no arguing, since the animosity in a way, not necessarily has died down. It's just this person, you, whomever it is, you're just choosing not to act. And you are being in this energy that you haven't really been in before. So now it's scaring the other person or it's scaring you because you just don't necessarily know what to do. Why are you not fighting for me? Why have you put me on mute? All these questions are just circling around your head. Okay. So again, Fool, Two of Swords, the Four of Swords, the Three of Swords. Some of you are having some difficulties or some issues when it pertains to a team member, or it could be, or excuse me, coworker, or it could be a boss, or it just could be some sort of policy change that has taken effect, or it is about to take effect in about less than 3 weeks, or actually it could be Thursday of next week. And this is going to be, as we can see with the Fool, this is going to be something that is going to happen very quickly. Okay, some of you may get shuffled around to different teams. Some of you may be anticipating a start date, but that start date may end up getting delayed. And again, this may come because there's going to be a lack of communication. All of a sudden, things are going quiet. All of a sudden, things are going silent. So a lot of people are kind of freaking out because that again, that communicative energy that was there, now all of a sudden it's pretty much come to zero to me. That's what it feels like. Right. Some of you may be in a difficult situation because whoever this person is, and maybe you've been back and forth with when it pertains to this kind of like rah situation, it feels that this person is going to decide to go in a different direction and explore other options. And that would mean that you and this person aren't going to be in this limbo of off and on again. You're just going to be there and they're going to be over there. So this may be a tough pill for some of you guys to swallow if you are in this particular situation. Okay. Some of you, I kind of feel like you're begging a little bit, even if you're not actually saying it. It's the things that you're doing is coming across that you are kind of begging for it, and no wonder this person is kind of just like, I'm out of here. So really, you just have to take a step back and ask yourself, is all this stuff you're doing really worth it? If you're the only person doing it, surely there's a lot of energy to, expense out there just to get barely anything in return. So we have page. Oh yeah. So this goes back to what I just said. Some of you, the reason as we expanded on this Seven of Wands, the reason why the communication has came to a halt because they're doing exactly what I just said they're going to do. They're about to hop off the train. They're about to hop off to wherever they're going, and they're about to explore other options. This situation just is not growing anymore. And there are promises made at the beginning of this situation that are just not going to be fulfilled. And somebody here is having a hard time accepting the fact that it's just time to leave or somebody has possibly changed their mind. Now, someone could have changed their mind because of the things that have transpired over the entire situation. Everybody has that right. So, some of you just may not want to accept that answer at this particular time. Okay. Some of you may be thinking about moving across seas, and maybe you're trying to get your job or your company to try to like sponsor you or to like pay for your moving expenses. I hate to break it to you. This is going to be a no because they just recently paid for somebody else's moving expenses, and this is going to be over budget. Speaking of over budget, um, that could be another thing as well that some of you need to pay attention to. The lack of communication from someone that you are financially responsible for or you share finances with. They have went over budget, or this person is spending, and I hate to say it, some of you, this person actually may be keeping something from you that may be tied to some sort of court order when it pertains to a child, which could be possibly child support, or maybe something tied to back something that needs to be taken care of, or this simply could represent there may be a chickadee or a chickadum in another state that this person may be entertaining, and it's going to require money for them to get to where they want to go to meet with this person. But I already put that out there when I said for some of you, it's just a matter of they're gonna go in a new direction, and it's gonna revolve around leaving this situation behind. Yeah, communication is about to come to a stop, like I said, if it hasn't already. Something is coming to an end, coming to a close. And I hate to say it abruptly. The Page of Wands doesn't do anything slow. He's talkative, he's impulsive, he has that Aries kind of like undertone, Mars type of undertone. So some of you, this could be tied to a Scorpio, or again, like I said, in Aries, we have Virgo coming through, but we also have Libra. Those are the signs that I'm getting through at this particular time. We have the Six of Cups. But the interesting thing, whenever I pull these cards at first, I was laughing because I heard I'll be back. But again, this is no different than what you've already experienced with this particular person. But at the same time, I'm kind of getting why wait? Why wait for it at this particular point? Because you have been waiting. You've been being very passive whenever it pertains to whatever this is. Some of you have been being passive when it comes to deciding to move to another state, or you became impulsive when it pertains to moving somewhere else, and now there may possibly be some sort of regrets, and you may be thinking about wanting to go back home or go back to where you are comfortable because right now you don't feel very comfortable. Okay, Nine of Cups, the Magician. Yeah, like I said, I'll be back. Mhm. I ain't shocked. Yeah. I mean, it's a difficult situation because it almost feels that one person is remaining passive while the other person is growing or not growing. And there is no cohesion. I don't really feel like there is much drama anymore, but there definitely was drama in the past. There was drama whenever you guys were together, hence why you're separated or you're dealing with this individual now. And there was some drama, like I said in the past, especially when it came to somebody's coworker, somebody they worked with, or whatever it is that was a close call. Or actually, I heard gambling. Somebody may have some sort of gambling or something like that situation that is an issue. And so you move past that. So now things are quiet, maybe a little bit too quiet, because now it almost comes across that both people have nothing else better to do but to think about this entire situation, and there is a lot of thinking going on. Yes, this dynamic that you guys have created is comfortable. Yes, the team that you're on, the job that you're in, the house, whatever it is, yes, whatever this is that you created out of a toxic situation has become comfortable to you. But it almost comes through that for some of you guys, it feels that you're gonna go into this period now where there's no drama, there's no nothing like that, and you're gonna be happy about that, but nothing is gonna be different than what it was 3 years ago. The only difference is now there's no arguing, there's no fighting, there's no drama. So yes, that is a happy time, yes, but again, someone still needs to grow up. There still needs to be forgiveness. Someone is possibly spending too much money. It's the same old cycle. It's the same old lesson. We also do have a little bit of a maybe a little bit of a stalker energy, but that's all it is. I'm kind of It's like I'm stalking you a little bit to kind of like see if you're moving on or see what you're gonna do, and then I see that you're moving on, and then I attack. And I mean, this is nothing new. Maybe you should consider waiting on this earth sign person that is trying to come in, but um I'm just not sold. Yeah. Mhm. I knew it. You heal one toxic thing just to move to another. And that could be in relation to anything. Someone does have an alcohol problem, I feel, but they're lying about it. They're 100% lying about it, but it actually comes from their mom's side, or someone has some sort of addiction or some sort of bad habit that actually stems from their mother's side, but they are hiding it really well, or they're just being oblivious to it. But I mean, it doesn't even have to be anything as huge as an addiction. It could be irresponsibility. It could be a lack of affection of emotion. You're just spewing back what was done to you. And somebody has gotten comfortable with dealing with that crap. hmm But you can't help yourself, you know? You're going to return, you're going to keep being optimistic about, you're going to keep being optimistic about, to be honest, this negative situation. Ugh, I mean, this person isn't even a good parent. And yet you are debating. You're straddling the fence if you should continue forward with them, or I mean, I don't understand that logic. I don't know. It's not clicking for me. It feels like somebody has turned their back on their children just for their own selfish reasons when it comes to like relationships. It's like they don't want to be. It's almost like they don't really want to be responsible for the life that they created. But when it comes to relationship, you got me there. I'll be responsible. I mean, that doesn't make sense. And some of you, this is the person that you're kind of like fawning over, spilling your guts over, crying about. But the Three of Pentacles is clear as day. So is the Six of Pentacles is saying that you can't love anybody to grow. I mean, into growing up, honestly. And it feels like some of you are trying to do that. You're trying to love somebody into growing up. And that's a shame because you're going to lose all the progress that you're making within yourself. That's a shame. So, what they say, silence is deafening, but also through silence, you get the answers. But it's up to you to accept the answers. And some of you guys, even though this silent period that you need is giving you time to think, you still are going to ignore. You're still going to ignore every single thing that you come to a conclusion about during this silent period. So all of it was for nothing. If you're not truly going to take heed and pay attention to what's going on. But again, I do feel like there is a better suit for those of you looking, even whenever it pertains to a job. There will be an earth sign man that will come through and offer you a job that will have a much better benefits, but it won't be till August of 20. Oh shit. It won't be till August of 25. So some of you have about another year and a half or a year and some change to kind of like stay where you're at. I know you don't want to hear it, but I really do see that there is something coming through. Okay, yeah, now is not the time to get trigger happy. Now's not the time to get ego happy and start walking away from things because it would just not be a good idea. Okay, so just because things are quiet, don't mean you need to start trying to stir up trouble. Just sit there in the silence and just sift through your feelings, sift through all the stuff that's going on, and just come to a conclusion. Because some of you, my goodness, as soon as it's quiet, you just like, oh, I need to start moving tables. No, that's not how this is gonna work. Okay, but anyway, so yeah, this is what I have for you guys, and I'll see you later.